Paxtec, let's zoom. Sorry. May call lang.
Copy po, Mr. Vice Chair. Just like to reiterate po, Mr. Vice Chair, that we would like to remind everyone po that this meeting is being recorded po for documentation purposes and to promote transparency po in compliance po with Section 38 of the Republic Act number 12009. This meeting po will be uploaded po on the official DICT YouTube channel. That is Department of ICT Philippines po, for the information po, of course, of the prospective leaders po present here in the meeting.
Okay, so everybody is reminded. Go ahead, Paxtec.
Thank you po, Mr. Vice Chair. With your permission po, we will now proceed po with the presentation po of the project, to be followed po by the presentation po and discussion of the end user po of the technical specification of the project. Thank you.
Please proceed.
Thank you po, Mr. Vice Chair. May we call on Ms. Jenny Baladat po to present the project. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the private conference of the establishment of wireless broadband network, the ICT BAC 2025-094, with an ABC of 49,900,000 pesos. The invitation to bid for this project was posted on July 23, 2025 on the PhilJEP's website, the ICT website, e-procurement website, and the ICT bulletin board. The invitation to observers and supplemental bid bulletin is issued and posted on July 26, 2025. The ITO was sent to Commission on Audit, Chief Information Officers Forum Foundation, Incorporated, Institute of Electronics Engineers of the Philippines Incorporated, and Philippine Computer Society. The supplemental bid bulletin was issued on July 26, 2025 to amend the schedule of the private conference for the reference project. For the information of everyone, the provincial member for this project is Director Antonio Edward E. Padre, and the technical working group is headed by Mr. Marlon Obiagtan, with the following members: Mr. Nelson Mamuya, Ms. Venus M. Rivera, Ms. Giselle Nakita, and Mr. Joran A. Serro. For the prospective bidders who registered for today's pre-bid conference is Comclark Network and Technology Corporation, Sunnyway Group of Companies Incorporated, One Commerce International Corporation, Neotech Asia Distribution Incorporated, and I1 Resources Incorporated. For the agenda, we have project details, house rules, schedule of activities, instruction to bidders, checklist of technical and financial documents, 2 envelope system and proper sealing and markings, bid data sheet, technical specifications, forms, post-qualification documents, and the reminders to bidders. For the house rules, everyone is encouraged to make clarifications, identify your name first and company before raising a question, and please limit your question to the details of the procurement at hand. For the instruction to bidders, this bidding shall be governed by all the provisions of RA 9184 and its 2016 revised IRR, including its generic procurement manuals and associated policies, rules, and regulations as the primary source thereof, while the herein clauses shall serve as the secondary source thereof. Any amendments made to the IRR and other GPPB issuances shall be applicable only to the ongoing posting, advertisement, or IB by the BAC to the issuance of a supplemental bid bulletin. The bidder, with the act of submitting its bid, shall be deemed to have verified and accepted the general requirements of this project, including other factors that may affect the cost, duration, and execution or implementation of the contract, project, or work, and examine all instructions, forms, terms, and project requirements in the bidding documents. For the eligible bidders, only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated. Foreign ownership limited to those allowed under the rules may participate in this project. Pursuant to Section 23.4.1.3 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184, the bidder shall have an SLCC that is at least one contract similar to the project, the value of which adjusted to current prices using the PSA's CPI and must be equivalent to. The bidder must have completed within the period specified in the invitation to bid an SLCC that is one contract similar to the contract to be bid and whose value adjusted to current prices using the Philippine Statistics Authority consumer price indices must be at least 50% of the ABC. The bidder shall comply with the eligibility criteria under Section 23.4.1 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184. For this project, subcontracting is not allowed. Payment of the contract price shall be made in Philippine peso. For the bid price, choose the proper form for goods offered from within the Philippines or goods offered from abroad indicating price schedule. For the bid security, bidders, all bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in the ITB Clause 14. Each bidder shall submit one original and 2 copies of the required documents. Again, each bidder shall submit one original and 2 copies of the required documents. For the 2-envelope system and proper sealing and markings, the bidder shall submit one mother envelope. Inside the mother envelope are 2 separate envelopes labeled eligibility and technical documents and financial documents. Inside the eligibility and technical documents envelope are 3 separate envelopes labeled eligibility and technical original, duplicate, and triplicate copy. While inside the financial documents envelope, this must contain financial, original, duplicate, and triplicate copy. For the label, the bidder may use the templates shown on the screen to Department of Information Communications Technology from name of bidder in capital letters, address of bidder in capital letters, project, establishment of wireless broadband network, bid reference number to ACT BAC 2025-094. And in capital letters, indicate the phrase "Do not open before August 12, 2025 at 1:30 p.m." The deadline for the submission of bids is on August 12, 2025 at 12 noon, while the opening of bids shall be followed later in the afternoon at 1:30 p.m. For the checklist of technical and financial documents, for the technical component envelope, the first requirement is for legal documents is valid field steps registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages. Please note, pursuant to Section 8.5.2 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184 and GBBB Resolution number 15-2021, all Class A eligibility documents indicated in Annex A of the Field Registration Certificate, platinum membership must be current, valid, and updated at the time of its submission. The failure by the prospective bidder to update the certificate with the current and updated Class A eligibility documents shall result in the automatic suspension of the validity of its certificate until such time that all of the expired Class A eligibility document has been updated. Thus, prospective bidders are required to update their PhilJEPS registration certificates prior to the submission of their bids. For the next requirement, the bidder shall submit the statement of the respective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contract, including contract awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. For this particular requirement, there is no attachment needed. The next requirement is the statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid except under conditions provided for in Section 23.4.1.3 and 23.4.2.4 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184 within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents. For the attachment, for this requirement, any of the following document must be submitted together with the SLCC. A, end user acceptance. B, official receipt or sales invoice for the contract. Another requirement is the original copy of bid security. If in the form of a security bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. Please note, bidders who opt to submit a bid securing declaration as a form of bid security are required to use the bid securing declaration form in the attached bidding documents. Next requirement is a schedule of requirements. Next document is the conformity with the technical specifications, which may include production, delivery, schedule, manpower requirements, and/or after-sales parts if applicable. Original duly signed Omnibus Sworn Statement (OSS) and, if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in the case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder. For the financial documents under the technical component envelope, the prospective bidder's computation of the net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC, or a committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation. For the Class B documents, if applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide with the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. For the financial component envelope, these are the following requirements. First is the original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, and the original of duly signed and accomplished price schedule. For the other documentary requirements under RA 9184 as applicable, for foreign bidders claiming by reason of their country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, a certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in government procurement activities for the same item or product. A certification from the DTI if the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. Reminding bidders to kindly break down all the cost of taxes pursuant to Section 32.2.2 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184 to wit. For the bid security shall be in the form of a bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. If it is in the cashier's or manager's check, bank draft, guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit, the amount shall be 998,000 pesos. If it's a surety bond, the amount shall be 2,495,000 pesos. For the post-qualification documents, within a non-extendable period of 5 calendar days from receipt of the bidder of the notice from the bank that it submitted the lowest calculated bid, the bidder shall submit its latest income and business tax returns filed and paid through the BIR electronic filing and payment system, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the BDS. For the forms, these forms are also posted in the bidding document: schedule of requirements, technical specifications, bid form, price schedule for goods offered from abroad, price schedule for goods offered from within the Philippines, bid securing declaration, and the Omnibus Sworn Statement. For the forms pursuant to Section 5.3 of the Government Procurement Policy Board Circular Number 04-2020, bidders are highly encouraged to use the templates or forms provided to minimize errors or omissions in the form submitted. However, failure to use said templates or forms is not a ground for disqualification, provided that the form submitted includes all the mandatory provisions required in the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184 and its associated issuances as identified in Clause 2 of the required form section of the bidding documents. For the bid forms, the mandatory provisions are bid prices in figures and in words, and the bid price shall include the cost of all taxes such as but not limited to value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties, which shall be itemized in the form and reflected in the price schedule or detailed estimates. For the price schedule, the following mandatory provisions must be indicated. Prices indicated in the price schedule shall be entered separately in the following manner. For goods offered from within the PE's country, the price of the goods quoted EXW, X-Works, X-Factory, X-Warehouse, X-Showroom, or off-the-shelf as applicable. The cost of all sales and other taxes already paid or payable. The cost of transportation, insurance, and other costs incidental to the delivery of the goods to their final destination, and the price of other incidental services, if any. For goods offered from abroad, the price of the goods shall be quoted, delivered, duty paid with the place of destination in the Philippines, the price of other incidental services, if any, and for services based on the form which may be prescribed by the PE in accordance with existing laws, rules, and regulations. For the bid security declaration, the following mandatory provisions shall be indicated. Bidders shall enter into contract with the PE and furnish the required performance security within 10 calendar days from the receipt of the notice of award, and bidder accepts that it shall be automatically disqualified from bidding for any procurement contract with any PE for a period of 2 years upon receipt of the blacklisting order, and it will pay the applicable fine provided under the guidelines on the use of bid security declaration within 15 days from receipt of the written demand by the PE for the commission of acts resulting to the enforcement of the bid security declaration under the pertinent provisions of the IRR of RA 9184 and its associated issuances. For the omnibus form statement, the following mandatory provisions shall be indicated. The signatory is the duly authorized representative of the bidder and granted full power and authority to do, execute, and perform any and all acts necessary to participate, submit the bid, and to sign and execute the ensuing contract accompanied by relevant notarized document. Bidder is not blacklisted or barred from bidding with the government of the Philippines or any of its agencies, offices, corporations, or local government units, including foreign government or foreign or international financing institution whose blacklisting rules have been recognized by the GPPB by itself or by relation, membership, association, affiliation, or controlling interest with another blacklisted person or entity as defined and provided for in the Uniform Guidelines on Blacklisting. Each of the documents submitted in satisfaction of the bidding requirements is an authentic copy of the original, complete, and all statements and information provided therein are true and correct. Bidder authorizes the whole or his or her duly authorized representatives to verify all the documents submitted. Bidder complies with the disclosure provision under Section 47 of RA 9184 and its 2016 revised IRR in relation to other provisions of RA number 3019. Bidder complies with existing labor laws and standards. Bidder complies with the responsibilities of prospective or eligible bidder provided in the PBDs. Bidder did not give or pay directly or indirectly any commission, amount, fee, or any form of consideration, pecuniary or otherwise, to any person or official, personnel, or representative to the government in relation to any procurement project or activity, and in case advance payment was made or given, failure to perform or deliver any of the obligation undertakings in the contract shall be sufficient grounds to constitute criminal liability for swindling or estafa or the commission of fraud with unfaithfulness or abuse of confidence through misappropriating or converting any payment received by a person or entity under obligation involving the duty to deliver certain goods or services to the prejudice of the public and the government of the Philippines. Pursuant to Article 315 of Act Number 3815, Series 1930, as amended, or the revised Penal Code. Other required forms on the bid security, aside from the bid securing declaration, performance security, and the warrant security, the following mandatory provisions shall be indicated. Security is posted in favor of the PE. Amount of the security, which is denominated in Philippine pesos, which should not be less than the required percentage as follows. For the bid security based on the ABC to be bid, if For the performance security, it is based on the total contract price. And for the warranty security, it is based on the required percentage of the progress payment or total contract price. Validity period, which should be corresponding to the time frame provided in the 2016 revised IFR of RA 9184 and its associated issuances. Respective obligation or undertaking that is guaranteed relative to the faithful performance of the responsibilities stated in the relevant provisions of the 2016 revised IRRN. For surety bond, it shall be callable upon demand, issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security. Statement of the bidder of all its ongoing government and private contract, including contract awarded but not yet started. The mandatory provision shall be name of outstanding contract with other contracting party, that is PE or private company, allowed with the rules, contract date, period in amount or value, and for goods, kinds of goods, and dates of delivery. For the statement of the bidder's SLCC, the mandatory provisions are name of the completed contract with contract date, period, and amount, which should correspond to the required percentage of the ABC to be bid. The value is adjusted to the current prices using the Philippine Statistic Authority Consumer Price Indices when necessary. For goods, the relevant period or delivery date when the said SLCC was completed, end user's acceptance or official receipt or sales invoice issued for the contract if completed, and definition or description of the similar project or major categories of work. For the owner's certificate of acceptance or CPS rating accompanying the statement of the bidder's SLCC. The mandatory provisions are for owner's certificate of acceptance, name of project owner that issued the certificate, name of contractor or constructor, name of contract, and the contract duration. For CPS rating, a final rating of at least satisfactory. For contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. For the bidder's computation of the NFCC or the committed line of credit for goods. For NFCC computation, the provisions are the ABC to be bid, amount or value of bidder's current asset based on audited financial statements, amount or value of bidder's current liabilities based on AFS, and the amount or value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of that project under ongoing contract, including awarded contract yet to be started, coinciding with the contract to be bid. For committed line of credit, ABC to be bid, amount which should be at least equal to 10% of the ABC, and the name of the issuing foreign universal or commercial bank as confirmed or authenticated by a local universal or commercial bank. For the joint venture agreement or notarized statement as to forming JV for goods, if a JVA is already in existence, the content shall include the responsibility of each of the JV partners or its contribution to the JV. And the contents of the notarized statements from all potential JV partners shall include that they will enter into and abide with the provisions of the JVA in the event that the bid is successful, and failure to enter into JVA in the event of a contract award shall be a ground for bid disqualification and subsequent forfeiture of the bid security. For the certification as to the reciprocity to foreign bidders for goods, foreign bidder claiming eligibility based on its country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos shall submit a certification from the relevant government office of their country, stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in their government procurement activities for the same item or product. Presented on the screen are the forms which is also attached in the posted bidding documents for this project. The bid securing declaration form, price schedule for goods offered from within the Philippines, price schedule for goods offered from abroad, the bid form, omnibus warrant statement, and the schedule of requirements. For the reminders to bidders, The clock at the DICT lobby using the Philippine Standard Time is the official reference time during submission and receipt of bids. A member of the BAC Secretariat will be assigned to receive the bid documents at the DICT lobby and shall stamp these as received. Bidders are reminded that entry inside the DICT premises is subject to the safety and health protocols in place, and in processing of payment for the bidding documents prior to the submission of the actual bid offer may take time. Presence in the DICT premises does not constitute submission on time, which shall refer to the actual handover of the bid proposal to the authorized personnel of the BAC Secretariat. Again, presence in the DICT premises does not constitute submission on time. Requests for clarification should be formalized, addressed, and emailed to the BAC Secretariat at the following addresses: bac@dict.gov.ph and bac.secretariat@dict.gov.ph. Deadline for the request for clarification is on August 2, 2025 at 4 p.m. Copies of supplemental bid bulletins, if any, shall be posted at the PhilJEP's website, the DICT website, and bulletin board at the DICT lobby. For the common causes of ineligibility and disqualification, invalid PhilJEP certification and underlying supporting documents pursuant to Section 8.5.2 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184 and GPPB Resolution Number 15-2021. All Class A eligibility documents indicated in Annex A of the PhilJEP's registration certificate platinum membership must be current, valid, and updated at time of bid submission. The failure of a prospective bidder to update the certificate to the current and updated Class A eligibility documents shall result in the automatic suspension of the validity of its certificate until such time that all of the expired Class A eligibility documents has been updated. Thus, prospective bidders are required to update their PhilJEP's registration certificates prior to the submission of their bids. Next causes of the failure is the failure to attach the required supporting documents for the statement of single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid, and failure to include all the mandatory provisions pursuant to GPPB Circular Number 04/2020. Submission of unsigned documents. Submission of audited financial statement without stamp receipt of the BIR. Failure to submit the bid securing declaration in the prescribed format attached in the bidding documents. Take note that the bid securing declaration has additional mandatory provisions pursuant to GPPB Circular Number 04/2020. Failure to submit bid securing declaration in omnibus form statement without a jurat as required in the form provided in the bidding documents pursuant to the latest rules on notarial practice. Failure to indicate compliance in the technical specification and to attach proof of compliance if applicable. Failure to submit the forms which do not contain all the mandatory provisions pursuant to the GPPB Circular Number 04/2020. For submission of bids through courier service, bidders are reminded that the courier service personnel must submit the bid proposal to a personnel of the BAC Secretariat Division at the office address provided. Bid submission proposal left with the courier service personnel at the lobby guard or any other personnel or staff aside from the authorized BAC Secretariat personnel will not be considered submitted for purposes of bid opening. The responsibility to ensure that the courier service personnel submits the bid proposal to the authorized BAC Secretariat personnel is the sole responsibility of the prospective bidder. Next to be presented is the video presentation of the eProc if the bidder opt to pay or purchase the bidding documents through e-procurement system.
Accessing the e-procurement website. Open any web browser and go the https://eprocurement.dict.gov.ph. Click the Sign Up button. Provide a valid email address. Create a password with at least 8 alphanumeric characters, 1 uppercase, a number, and a symbol. Repeat your password for confirmation. Tick the checkbox to agree to the terms and conditions. And click Create Account button. Open the email account that you provided during registration. Check your inbox and verify your account by following the instructions in the email. click Activate Your Account button. Go back to the e-procurement system and enter your registered email address and password. Click Login button, and you will be redirected to the onboarding page. Input your personal information and click Next button. Input your company information and click Next button. Review the information you provided and click Confirm button. Once onboarded, you will be redirected to the homepage/dashboard. Select the procurement project you wish to participate in by clicking the View Complete Details button. Select the lot you wish to participate and click Participate in Bidding button. A confirmation modal will appear. Review the details, click the Confirm button, and you will be redirected to the payment window. Select your preferred payment method from the list and click Pay Now button. Print and save the receipt as proof of payment and for reference. You may also check your email to view your receipt. Click the Go Back to Merchant button. You will be redirected to the My Transactions page, where a list of your transactions will be displayed.
Sir Vice Chair, that would be all from the back secretariat. Before we proceed po dun sa presentation of the technical specification, Mr. Vice Chair and to the members of the back, in the interest of time and noting that the bidding documents po for this project have been officially posted po on the PhilJEPs and also in our DICT website. With the permission po of the back members, just like to confirm if we will dispense po with the presentation of the technical specification and confirm po with the prospective bidders po if they have already reviewed and examined po the bidding documents po as posted.
Back members, there's a request from the back secretary to forgo of the discussions of the detailed terms of reference since the bidding docs has been already posted. I'm soliciting a motion from the members of the back.
Motion to dispense, Mr. Vice Chair. Salamat po.
Thank you, Director Carlo.
Second, Mr. Chair. Mr. Vice Chair.
It has been moved and seconded by Director Dennis. Let's proceed now to the questions, right? Backsec, proceed.
Yes po, and also we just like to confirm din po with the prospective bidders if it's still okay po with them.
The prospective bidders, do you have any concerns or are you amenable to? Wala naman, hearing none. Let's proceed.
Thank you po, Sir Vice Chair. And now po, we'll now open po the floor for any clarification or queries po in the posted bidding documents. And for proper identification po, Mr. Vice Chair, we just like to request the prospective bidders po to kindly click po yung raise hand button. Then we will acknowledge po. Then that's the time po they will state their name po and the company they are representing and also their questions po. Thank you po. Yes po, Mr. Stephen Elicata, you are acknowledged po.
You're acknowledged, Mr. Stephen Gabay. Please also state your company and your position. Thank you.
Hi sir, ma'am. Good afternoon. Stephen po from Neotech. Clarification lang po sa for the monopole requirements for in the DICT Baguio PAP. Is it for reinforcement of the existing or provision for a new monopole, sir? Because for in page 31 of the technical specifications, it states that it requires the commissioning of the existing and provision of the new one. But on the page 48, item number 2.1.3, it says reinforcement of the existing.
Mr. Vice Chair, may we request for the end user to make their response on this, please?
End user, you can go ahead and please respond. I'm acknowledging you. Sige, go ahead na.
Yes, sir. In the terms of reference, ang nakalagay po namin dyan is decommissioning and replacement ng monopole. But in the essence naman, sir, ang pinupoint namin dyan is to dapat ma-ensure nung tower na ma-accommodate niya yung proposed antenna system. So, but as the end user, we are fine with it being reinforced or replaced as long as it can accommodate the design of the antenna system. Also, given that it is supported by structural analysis, which is also stated in the terms of reference.
Mr. Stephen, may we know if the clarifications are clear po?
Okay, we're clear. Clear naman po. And just another po pala, for the permitting works, item 2 of page 30 says all NTC applications. But in page 38, item 1.2.3, may exemption po na sinabi, which is yung RSL and frequency.
May we request the end user po to respond on this, please?
Yes, according to this, we excluded the RSL and the license frequency. But anything else pertaining to the NTC facilitation shall be shouldered by the winning bidder.
So we will follow the exemption, sir.
Yes, sir. As stated naman din sa terms of reference mo.
Okay, sir. May medyo contradicting lang po kasi sa page 30. Item 2 po. Iyan, sir. A letter C.
Okay. For this back members, I think this can be rephrased or amended on the
Mr. Stephen, we will reflect this po on our supplemental bid bulletin po. Thank you po.
Thank you, ma'am. Copy po.
Any other question po?
Meron pa po. Yung stud dimension ng PU panel for Locaben site, page 31, number 4 po. Letter E. Ang dimension po kasi dyan is 3.2 by 3.2 by 3.0 meters. But in page 31, for page 31 po kasi at 3.2 by 3.2 by 3.2. So yung height po kasi hindi nag-match.
Sir, may we know what specs po are you referring po? And
For the PO panel po, yung page 31 and 1.4.4.1 po.
we'll just check po. Inaway lang po.
Iyan po. Yung height, for the height requirement po, 3.2 by 3.2 by 3.2. Pero dun sa previous is 3.2 by 3.2 by 3.0.
Any response po from the end user on this, please?
Yes, for the height, it's 3.0 meters. That's typographical error on the external dimensions height. But the final dimensions for the PU panel, for external, it's 3.2 by 3.2. And the height is 3.0, as 3.0 meters for the height. For the internal, it's 3.0 for all, the length, width, and height. It's because of the minimum thickness of the PO panel at 100 millimeters.
Okay, sir. Thank you po.
Mr. Renzi po, just like to confirm po, there will be amendment po on item 1.4.4.1.1.3 po. Okay po.
Yes po. Yes po.
Okay po. Any other questions po?
Another question po. May we know po yung existing NMS for the integration po nung proposed namin? If ano po yung NMS po dun sa DCN for the data communications network po. Kung ano yung
Are you
existing
referring
number.
po dun sa item 1.1.24.1, sir?
Yes po, for the integration po kasi kailangan malaman.
Alright, sir. On the response po from the end user, please.
Are we talking about the brand of the NMS?
Yes, sir.
The existing NMS is Huawei.
Wow. Copy, sir.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions po?
Yung dito.
Good afternoon po, ma'am. This is Dayan from Unitec.
Go ahead po, ma'am.
Question na po, ma'am. Since na-move po yung credit po natin, ma-move din po ba yung submission ng blocks?
Ma'am, I believe we already presented po yung deadline for the submission of bids po earlier po. But to confirm po, Ms. Jen, the deadline po will be on August 12 po.
So same
we already, yes po, we already issued po yung supplemental bid bulletin number 1 in the PhilChips and also the ICT po.
Okay, dati po. Last po, ma'am. Parang po ba namin bumili ng blocks since nakabili na po kami last time?
Yes po, ma'am. There is an instruction po dun sa aming ITB po, if I'm not mistaken. If we may present po, Ms. Jen, yung nasa ITB. On item 5 po of the invitation to bid po. So the price po will be 25,000 po.
Yung last po, ma'am, na kasi di ba po, nakabili na kasi. Rebid kasi po, ma'am. nakabili na kasi kami last. Ma-refund po ba?
Ma'am, non-refundable po siya, ma'am.
Okay po. Copy po. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions po? You are acknowledged po, Mr. Jemboy Lopez. Kindly state po yung company you are representing and your queries. Thank you.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. May from One Commerce po, Jemboy po from One Commerce. May question lang po ako. Since yung sa existing tower natin for the Santo Tomas po is nasa rooftop siya ng building. So required pa rin po ba mag-conduct ng structural investigation and analysis for the building?
With that po, may we request the end user po to respond on it, please.
We'll confirm na lang din po ito sa team. I-include na lang po natin sa SPB.
Mr. Jemboy, this will be clarified po through our SPP. Any other questions po, sir?
Medyo nawala. Hello po. May question pa po ako. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Question lang po about dun po sa okay. Dun po sa ano po sa Lucaben side po. May existing tower na po kasi doon since bago lang yung tower doon. So magkakandak pa rin po ba kami din ng structural analysis ng tower pag maglalagay po kami ng antenna, microwave antenna, or okay na sa inyo yung since bago po siya. Ito po ma'am, yan po. Dun sa Lucaben. Since new tower po siya, so possible po meron siyang details and structural analysis and for this tower po. So possible pa po ba mag-conduct kami ng structural analysis if ever po maglalagay din ng microwave antenna for that po?
Requesting po the response from end user po on this, please.
Yes, for the structural analysis of the Lucaben Tower, actually hindi siya included doon sa terms of reference. But we know that it's good to have a structural analysis for the installation. But if you can include it in the bid proposal, that would be great. But for further clarifications, we can include it in the SBB.
Maybe confirm po from Mr. Jemboy if the response is clear po.
So idadagdag na lang namin Sir Renzi dun sa namin sa documents if ever po. And if ever po na magsasubmit kami ng structural analysis, may makukuha po ba kami ng details ng design ng tower to conduct structural analysis po?
Maybe get the...
Yes, we have as-built plans for this tower kasi ito ay built by the LGU. So they have the as-built designs for this. We can provide naman din.
Noted po, Sir Renzi. And may question pa po ako. Regards naman po dun sa perimeter fence natin dito sa Locaben Tower, dun sa 1.4.4 dito sa perimeter fence po, the perimeter fence shall enclose an open space area of 13 meter by 5. So, base dun po sa site kasi natin is cliff yung area po dun, no?
Then
naman yung
siya, sir?
mga,
Kahit
like
yung may
yung sa mga...
clearance naman siya sa... Yes, sir. Continue po.
Yes po. So, bali yung sa 5 meters, dun po sa pinaka, ano po, yun na din, pahaba po siya. Possible kaya mag-cash, clarify ko lang, or ask ko na lang din po, hindi possible po kaya na papasok yung mga equipment doon, like dun sa 5 meters lang siya. Since yung ano natin for shelter is 3.2 by 3.2, no sir? Tapos mag-offset pa tayo dun ng 1 meter para dun sa fence. So most likely nasa 4.2 na siya. Then yung dadaan pa, I mean yung ano pa natin, ay accessible para dun sa ano. So parang enough po kaya yung ano, yung nakalagay dun na 13 meters by 5 meters.
Yes, sir. As per the study naman ng end user, yung may enough area naman tayo to actually enclose the area. Kasi ang niliitan natin yung telecom shelter for that site. And yung cliff naman din is may clearance naman din tayo from the base ng tower hanggang dun sa cliff. Kaya ang naging sizing natin for the fence is rectangular, para malayo tayo doon sa cliff sa area. So I think we have enough space to actually enclose the site.
Noted on this, Sir Renzi. And dagdag ko na lang din, sir, since wala din naman po sa bidding documents natin yung dun sa slope protection, so hindi na po kami din magpro-provide just in case dun sa part ng 5 meters. Tama po ba, sir? For the slope protection, since medyo malapit na siya sa cliff.
Yes, wala naman nakalagay na slope protection sa terms of reference natin, but ang nakalagay doon is reinforced fencing para doon sa malapit na hill doon sa tower. Kasi medyo dikit siya doon sa parang pataas na hill doon sa Locaben. So bale reinforced fencing siya that will act as parang half retaining doon sa hill. Yun, sir.
Noted dito po, Sir Renzi. So hindi na kami mag-aano ng for the slope protection or kahit mga riprap po. Noted po. Sir, isama ko na lang din po yung sa ano, dun sa since hindi na po kami papatay ng tower for the Locaben site, hindi na, since mga shelter and mga genset and mga fuel tank lang naman yung mga ilalagay doon, hindi na po baka, okay lang po ba, sir, or possible pa na hindi na po kami mag-conduct for soil boring test dito? Hingi lang po ng confirmation or need pa po ba for a soil boring test dito? Thank you.
Actually, confirm namin ito, sir. I-clarify namin to sa SBB na lang, yung regarding sa soil analysis. Thank you.
Yes po, sir. Sama na din po dun sa Santo Tomas, sir. Since mga shelter lang siya, magkakandak pa ba ng soil boring test? And dun sa ano naman po, sa Baguio POP naman po, since may guy monopole na itayo dun, so possible magkakandak talaga po ng soil boring test, no sir?
Yes, sir. As per requirement ng structural analysis natin, kasi sa structural analysis natin is included ang soil analysis for the assessment ng soil capacity.
Noted po. Salamat po sa confirmation, Sir Renzi. Thank you po.
Thank you po, Mr. Jemboy. Any other questions po from the other contributors?
Are there any more questions, concerns from the prospective bidders? Going once, going twice. Okay. PACSEC, what's next?
Sir Vicer, considering po that we don't have any clarification na po from the prospective bidder, we will now proceed to the final reminders po. And the deadline for the submission po.
Please do the final reminders.
Thank you po.
Go ahead, go ahead.
For the final reminders to the bidders, the request for clarification should be formalized, addressed, and emailed to the BAC Secretariat at bac@dict.gov.ph and bac.secretariat@dict.gov.ph. And the deadline for the request for clarification is on or before August 2, 2025 at 4 p.m. And the copies of the supplemental bid bulletin, if any, shall be posted at the PhilJEP's website, the DICT website, and bulletin board po at the DICT lobby. Sir Vice Chair, with no other matters to discuss po, you may suspend this meeting. Thank you.
Before that, I would like to thank all the prospective bidders for participation. Sana po hindi kayo magsawa sa pagsuporta ng DICT. I hope that I can get a motion coming from the members, no? Your favorite motion?
Vice Chair. May isang agenda item, no, Michelle?
Ayun.
Yes po.
Motion to suspend, Mr. Vice Chair. Salamat po.
Denise.
Second, Mr. Vice Chair.
Ayan, it has been moved and seconded. This meeting is suspended. Thank you very much.
Thank you po, Mr.
Let's
Vice
proceed to the next
Thank you po.
agenda.
Thank you po. May we excuse po the prospective bidders po for this project po. Thank you. Sir Vice Chair will now proceed with the third item on the agenda, which is the public conference for the project managed services for the operation and maintenance of IP backbone network po.